Oh, welcome to another thrilling episode of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. Really, really weird cinema edition this time. I am pre-recording this on a Monday because nothing's happening here yet, and I have shit to do, as I already said, this week. So, this will air out of sequence, so to speak, but because I have this fresh in my mind, I figured, why not talk about Blood and Lace from 1971? A little obscure, really fucking twisted. After viewing this, I guess for the third time, I really it's like number one, you'd never get away with this shit today as a major release, or because it wasn't, it hit the circuit. I don't know who put it out, but somebody distributed this and it had some names in it. So, but anyway, it's just completely sick, twisted, and perverse. And I was trying to think whether I had this when I was managing that drive-in, and I don't know. It's just one of those weird fucking things where I don't know if I was a patron at the time or whether it ran there when I was managing the place. But I do remember it really didn't strike me as that good because it was dark. And see, the problem with watching any of these films that were shot darkly, including High Payne's Drifter, was that they didn't translate on an outdoor screen that clear sometimes. So I didn't get to see a lot of the really fucked up shit that was going on because it was dark. And then, the other night, I had picked up the Blu-ray, which they had cleaned it up. And this one stars Gloria Grahame, Len Lesser, Vic Tayback, and Melody Patterson from F Troop. And it opens up with a hammer view. They got somebody holding a hammer in front of them, and the camera is following them to a washed-out blonde on a bed and a guy. And then the hammer comes down, boop, bada boop, you get to see some gore. And then the guy lived, rolled out of bed, but the place caught on fire, but supposedly he was never found. And Ellie, the 16-year-old Ellie, played by Melody Patterson, was completely traumatized in this because, cutting to the chase, Mom was a hoe. And Mom probably had fucked everybody in town and just about everybody who passed through town. And they're saying this right out in the open in front of her, and she knows it. So she claims she just saw some ugly, scar-faced guy leave and run out of the house. But now Ellie wants to be on her own. But being that she's 16, she's awarded the state with this really creepy social worker that wants to place her in a home where he basically gets a kickback in the form of, blowjobs from Gloria Grahame, who is a little bit twisted and has a handyman named Tom. And we get to meet them as one kid's escaping with his suitcase. And Tom is following in hot pursuit. Well, the kid hides behind a tree and Tom throws a fucking meat cleaver at him, which takes his fucking hand right off. The kid keeps on going and then crawls into a pile of bushes and I guess dies or gets away, as far as we know. So Tom picks up the hand, picks up the suitcase, throws everything together and gets back. And now they have to basically say that this guy's in the wind and they can't get him. Well, unfortunately, others that were in the wind were caught back and killed by Tom, and they're now in the freezer. So when the social worker comes to do the head count, they take the bodies out of the freezer, put them in the infirmary, cover them up, real dark light, and just say that, how they might be contagious and the guy gets blown off. Okay, this is pretty twisted. Also as twisted as the fact that Tom's a fucking drunken pervert and wants to fuck all these chicks. They have this other poor runaway Annie chained up in the attic dying of thirst. And let's see what happens. So Ellie is brought over there, and Ellie just doesn't fit in because she's rebellious. And of course, what the hell was going to happen here? Good old Tom was going to show her a way to escape after everybody else told her not to. So Tom tells her to meet him in the cellar, and he'll show her the plan. But this is just an escape to pour liquor down her throat, and Tom tries to rape her. Well, then Gloria Grahame shows up, and with the the social worker, and they get him out of there. And Tom's not going to leave. Tom basically says, I want half of what's going on right now, or I'm going to tell everybody. She goes, but you'll implicate yourself. And he goes, I won't care, but you'll go down. So she goes, it's all about the children, all about the children. She's really fucked up. I mean, this is really fucking twisted shit. So one thing leads to another, and then Ellie is thrown into the meat locker where conveniently the bodies of the dead kids are. So a bunch of shit happens where basically this guy with a lumpy mask, I have to back up a little bit. There's a cop played by Vic Tayback, Caleb, who's very interested in Ellie's welfare. Overly interested. And actually, so is the social worker overly interested. So he keeps visiting the house, and they keep blowing him off with legitimate excuses, and him and Tom have a stare down because Tom sort of admits that he wants to get in Ellie's pants. And then Caleb grabs him and starts choking him and smacking the shit out of him. And then the other's tell was that Tom hands Ellie the hammer to take while he gets down the ladder, and she shies away. Well, we get back to the cellar. Well, this creature or whatever shows up with this horrible fucking head, and him and Tom have it out. And basically Ellie gets out and runs away. The social worker gets it in the back with a meat cleaver. Gloria Graham cracks Tom over the head, giving him a concussion. He's bleeding. Then she drags him into the freezer, saying, now your blood will slow down and you won't bleed to death. But Annie got loose and shuts the freezer door. So that's the end of that. So the lumpy-faced creature is chasing Ellie out into the field and finally catches her and rips off the mask, and it's Caleb. And Caleb basically tells her that basically he traced it back to the fact that she was the one who killed her hooker mom and the John, and he has a choice for her. And don't remember, she's 16 years old. Be my wife and no one will ever know. And she's like, well, my mom always said that older men were, better for you. And he goes, your mom would know. I was the first one who did her. And that's the end of the fucking movie. And you're like, holy fucking shit, man. Is this fucking sick or what? And it's like, I had completely forgotten about this whole thing, but you go back into 71, probably drinking, so it probably didn't register, but after a little run on this Blu-ray, I'm like, holy fucking shit, man. I think of the top maybe 50 films. I don't know if anybody's ever done a top 10 or even a top 20 of the really sickest films of the 70s. It would more likely be a top 100. I mean, there's some really sick shit out there, and it's like, I don't know if anybody's really delved into, how fucked up some of this stuff was. And like, here's a perfect example. Something that basically, was in and out for a week, probably was never brought back, at least around, where I was at that point, maybe on 42nd Street as a bottom feature, I don't know. But I don't recall this thing ever seeing it bounce back again. But like I said, when you really look at this fucking thing, it's like, holy shit, how fucked up is this? So that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. And above all, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.